Does owning a gun make you and your family safer? I think that, like most things, the answer is it depends. It may seem silly, but we could answer that question with another question. Does owning a piano make you a musician? I think that analogy is a good place to start this conversation. In the past 5 or 6 years, there's been a huge surge in new gun licenses and new gun owners. And I think that makes sense considering the unpredictable nature of the world that we live in these days. Folks from all points of the political spectrum have started to see the utility in owning a tool that you could use to protect yourself and protect your loved ones. The problem that I see is that after taking the initial steps of getting a license or maybe purchasing your first gun, is that most people don't take it any further than that. They take that gun home, they lock it in a lockbox, they maybe stick it on a shelf somewhere, and they maybe feel better or feel safer. But the reality is that without further education and training, you may have just made yourself and your family less safe, not safer. As a firearms instructor, I often find myself talking to people about their attitudes and mindset when it comes to gun ownership. And I think that as a new or inexperienced gun owner, one of the most important aspects of that is understanding that in order to use this tool effectively and legally and morally, and in order to be a responsibly armed person, requires a commitment to further training and further education after the initial steps of getting your license and purchasing your first gun. I understand completely that people are pulled in more directions these days than ever before, and that life is really more expensive than it ever has been too. And that's why I'm so committed to providing training and education opportunities for people that are accessible and affordable and not intimidating in any way and open to everyone. When I talk about further training and education, I'm not just talking about gaining more mechanical skill with a gun. I'm not just talking about learning how to be more proficient with the tool, although that is exceedingly important. I'm also talking about learning to increase your awareness, coming up with a home defense plan, learning about the laws that govern the legal use of force so that you don't survive a deadly encounter only to find yourself bankrupt or in prison or something like that. That's why at Make Ready, I am committed to offering both classroom-based curriculum as well as live fire training on the range, because I believe wholeheartedly that learning to be responsibly armed requires a holistic approach to that education and training. Gaining the knowledge and skill to protect yourself and your loved ones doesn't have to be intimidating, and it certainly isn't difficult. In fact, it should be gratifying and fun, like any other aspect of your personal evolution. So if you're a new gun owner, or you never pursued any further training after your initial safety class, or even if you're just considering getting your license or buying your first gun, I'm here to help you become the most responsibly armed person that you can be. Stay safe out there and make ready.